never said one word about high school. I said, when you get to college, because when you get to college, that's when you're gonna have those early morning practices where you have to go when you don't want to go. So that's my whole preparation. My mindset is college.
Right. So so this year, like I said, you go 28 one, right? 29 one.
It's 29 and 1. It's okay, Chuck. I got you, man. I got you.
I had to mess with you, man. I had to mess with you.
I knew it was coming again.
I had to mess with you.
Might say it one more time.
I think I am. but again, 29 and 1. So talk about that. Talk about some guys on this year's team that people should look out for. I mean, of course, you got, Elijah Curry.
Yeah.
Your son, Jarvis Stephen. Talk about some of those guys for me, Coach.
Oh man, I had a.
I mean, it's a special group, man.
It's a real special group, and what really made them special. I did something else this year. I made them love each other, and what I mean by that is, nobody could go and hang out. I told them if I seen two over here, especially after school, because after school they had to meet outside of the flagpole.
Okay.
I give my key to Javion, I go to my duty, and their job was to walk around the school, in the back of the school together. And when they walk around the school together, he unlocked the door, they get dressed, and they on the court when I get in the gym. So it was like if I seen one without the other, if I seen you over here and you guys didn't get around here together, it was gonna be a tough time in that gym that day. So and they built a real brotherhood. So it was, when you get to Ja'Cory Dixon, Billy Richmond, Elijah Curry, Emmanuel Allen, Jarvis Stephen, of course, Julius Goodwin Jr., Cody Hickerson, and we went. I had Jeremiah Morton. I had a slew of 8th graders though. Damian Sturdivant, Justin Deere. I think I'm missing somebody. I know that was the most 8th graders I've ever had. I had 11 8th graders this year.
Right. And all those guys were integral to what you did this year.
Pretty much, because if they wasn't efficient, on the court during the games, they was cheering their teammates on. I had a great group, no pouting. In those boys, they played together, they shared the ball. They didn't let the hype close them in. And I'm gonna tell you something. You remember when you wrote that article about why Havenview should win the state? I printed that off and I made them read that, but I never showed them the one about why you thought Ridgeway was gonna win the state. Right. I used that as my motivation. We went in the weight room, we sit down and let everybody read a paragraph. And they was like, and then it was like the light switched, it popped on, and they was refocused again. And they was ready to go. I wasn't gonna tell them you said they were gonna win the state. None of their business. You wrote the article, I needed you to write. I appreciate that.
I do things sometimes to try to motivate.
Yeah, that motivate them, and they was locked in, man. Well, you saw it the rest of the way. They was locked in, even during the area, the sectionals, they were locked in. So
All right. So after the season's over with, you win the state championship. Do you start to think to yourself like, I done won 2 out of the last 3. Is it time for me to do something different? Like, what was your thoughts after the season's over with?
Well, it really was my thought process. I won. I've been at Ridgeway for 4 years. Corey Williams, he hired me, and I was real rough around the edges. And I think all leaders have their different motives of what they want to do with their coaches, and he allowed me to coach my team, and because I did what I was supposed to do. Like, I stayed in the gym. I made sure my boys was making the grades they supposed to make, because I didn't want them to go to high school and not be able to play because of their grades. They had to go to tutoring. They had to do a lot of things, that I don't know if other schools are doing, but they had to go to tutoring. Whether they was passing or not, they still had to go. But once I got to, after this season, I really wanted to coach my boys. I didn't like a lot of stuff in high school basketball as far as how it was geared around, you know, just coaching wise. And I think I thought at the time I would be, you know, I think I'd do a good job on the next level, and I think it was time for me to move on because I've been doing it for a while now.
So, how did you first hear about the Germantown job? I know a couple of jobs came open this summer. You know, you had not summer, but you know, you had Whitehaven. You know, you had a couple of schools that got coaching jobs. But then Germantown. How did you hear about Germantown's job?
Actually, my frat, Gene Robinson, which is he's the new football coach over there. You know, me and him met probably about seven years ago when he first got on the scene. He was coaching at Riverview. Okay. And my daughter was playing basketball, and he was coaching girls basketball as well as football. And me and him was trash talking a little bit, you know, and he reached out to me the day after we won the state. He hit me up on Messenger and said, the job just came open. I think you'll be a good fit over here. And he told me, you know, just to send in my resume and apply for the job. And that's what I did. But that was like 2 months ago.
With the way everything has been going, you know, for the last month, you know, as far as like the quarantine and all that, and the coronavirus stuff situation, school being canceled, interview process is a little bit different. You guys do an interview on Zoom, right? On Zoom? Right. Okay. So you do the interview on Zoom, you know, everything, you know, you go into it. I'm sure you're probably a bit nervous. You know, you go on Zoom, so you do the interview. What's going through your mind after that? Did you think like, okay, I did a good job? Oh man, it's gonna be tough. Like, what was going through your mind after the interview?
Well, during the interview, I was speaking to them and just looking at their facial expressions the whole time, you know, and you know, you can see a lot in a person's facial expression. Like, they tell me I need to work on mine because people really know sometimes how I feel or what I'm thinking by my facial expression. Right. And I looked at them and you know, I got a lot of good responses just off their facial expressions, and I felt like I did pretty good. Sure. And that was at 12 o'clock. And the only thing that I really was nervous about, I wasn't nervous about the interview. Okay. It took me like 13 minutes to get my face to pop up on the screen, and they couldn't see me. Right. And they was waiting, and oh man. But other than that though, I felt pretty good about the job, you know. Okay. So, you know, of course, as we all know about now, you know, you get the job. You get the job, man. Like, I mean, it's a blessing. It's a blessing for you. You know, you've been in middle school ball, you know, been in the game for, you know, 10 years. Yeah. And then you finally get the opportunity to coach high school. You know, what was the first thing you did when you heard, Coach, you got the job? What was the first thing you did? You go tell your wife, you call your player. What was the first thing you did? I just cried. Okay. I cried. I was excited. I cried. Actually, I cried for 2 days. Every time it hit me, I cried. You know, not only did I cry because I get an opportunity to coach at one of the most prestigious schools in the city of Memphis, but you know, what better way to go than Germantown? You know, this is not just your ordinary school. This is one of the top schools in the city of Memphis. So, and then I got on the phone and I called Rick. You know, I called Ernest. I called some of everybody. It was fun. I had fun. And I cried. Did a lot of crying.
Now, you know, like I say, man, you know, being able to coach, and it's your first coaching job on the high school level, you know, and especially going into a district that's got, you know, some good teams in. You know, Southwind's normally pretty decent. You know, Colleyville's up and coming with Scotty Robinson. Houston High School, you know, who was, you know, real good last year. You know, in terms of like, you know, going into your first year with it, what would you tell fans of Germantown to expect from your basketball team?
Man, disciplined basketball, playing hard, exciting basketball. They're gonna leave everything on the court. Great coaching. You know, a lot of energy from me, my coaching staff, my players, and we're gonna bleed that red devil. Red all the way through.
It's like, you know, and I saw that. The one thing that I liked it was I think a quote that someone made. It was a new sheriff in town.
Yeah,
you know. So I thought that kind of signifies what you're doing. You know, it's a different ball game now over at Germantown.
It is.
Now I know. Now one thing that I've noticed about your teams in particular, and not only that your teams play hard, but you know your team be kind of swagged out, Cole. Your team be a little swagged out, man.
Yeah, man.
Is there something that you kind of always, you know, commit your teams to? You look good, you play good,
Got
you know.
man. That's
Everybody got matching shoes, you know, everything.
You gotta have it together, because what happens is when players are out there playing in their own shoes, I think mentally they got their own agenda.
Okay.
You know, with my coaching staff, we all have on the same shirts. I know I'm the head coach, but at the same time, we're a team. So I'm a practice what I preach. If I'm telling you guys, everybody got to wear the same shoes. You know, I don't need anything extra to come behind this. So I don't want you out here thinking you Kyrie today. You know, you just be who you are while you're playing. And that's why, you know, I focus on the gear as well. We gotta have some nice stuff.
If a coach, I'm sorry, not a coach, if a player were to, if I asked a player that played for you to describe you, like if I asked Chandler to describe you, what would he say?
I don't know, man, that's your little few. I'm pretty sure you asked him before. No, but you know, I'm very passionate about the game, and I love the players that I coach. I love all student athletes, but at the same time, I really love coaching basketball. I love coaching students. I love developing students of the game, because a lot of kids come in and they not mentally, they coming in, especially now that I'm going into high school. I know it's gonna be a lot of players that, you know, that come in, or players from the past recent years that's gonna come in, and they're gonna think it's gonna be a one-man show. Or no, one thing they can say is coach. He coached hard. He believed in team basketball, the team concept. I knew somebody that offered Chandler, if he got a triple-double every single game, they was gonna give him $100. He don't say no names, but he know who he is. But the crazy part was Chandler was so unselfish. Chandler might have 16 rebounds, 13, 14 assists, 6 points. He was always down in the points column in middle school. But I can say that I motivated him to you know, play the game however he played it. You know, just play the game the right way. And they gonna tell you that. Coach gonna tell you to play the game the right way. If you don't play it the right way, he gonna sit you down.
And it's one thing that I've liked. You know, I've liked watching. You know, over your career. You know, when you start for Hamilton, it seemed like to me like each year you would kind of add something new. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of coaches, you know, I'm not gonna say names. I could, but I'm not gonna say any names. A lot of coaches, they pretty much stay the same. You know, if they run a 3-2, they run a 3-2.
Yeah.
If they run a 2-3, they run a 2-3. If they run this offense, they run that offense. The same year. I mean, everything's the same all the time.
Right.
What makes you different from that type of coach?
We got,
because to me, you're constantly evolving.
Well,
and I think going to high school, you're going to evolve as well.
Well, what I was told, you know, everybody talked about Tubby Smith, but when Keelan was there, he invited me and a couple more other coaches to that clinic.
Okay.
And they said that, and out of that whole clinic, I think it was 2 middle school coaches or just 1 middle school coach in there at the time. And it was just me.
Okay.
And what I do is, he was like, in order to change with the times, you have to go to clinics, and you can't be stuck in your own ways. You know, you have to get out of your way in order to develop and build. And so what I learned this year, me and a couple of coaches from Memphis went down to the Vanderbilt coaches clinic. You know, see Jerry Stackhouse.
Okay.
And for Roger Phillips, he brought us down there.
Okay.
And it was very welcoming, but at the same time, he taught me some stuff, and I thought that the only way they get ready for the next level is they have to learn how to play a certain way, you know, and that was dead on that. And when it came to when it came to playing the game, I wanted to change it because the game it evolves with everything that you do. So I try to do something different because children get bored with doing the same old thing over and over and over and over. So even I get bored doing the same thing over and over. Now what I will do, I'll throw something out there, and once you catch on to it, I already know what I got in my back pocket to switch it up. But I'm not finna do the same defenses over and over and over to try to make this one work. And it's chess, not checkers.
Right. A little bit off it's on this subject. It's on the same subject, but a little bit, something different. Let me ask you 3 coaches that you would like to sit down with and pick their brain. It don't matter who it is, on what level. 3 coaches.
Coach K.
Okay.
Jim Boeheim.
Syracuse.
And actually Andy Kennedy.
Okay. UAB, Ole Miss.
Yeah, Ole Miss. I met him a couple times. I would love to sit down and pick their brain.
Okay. I've seen you before games. You got the headphones in, you locked in. Who you listening to?
It depends, man. I'm a Boney James fan. People probably don't know that, but I listen to a lot of jazz. Yeah, I do. I listen to a lot of jazz. And then, if it's one of those games, really, if it's one of those games that I can get too hype off of and get out of my element of coaching my boys, I listen to jazz. But if it's one of those games where I just feel real good, I'm gonna listen to Young Jeezy.
Okay.
Those are my 2.
Okay.
Or Meek Mill.
Does basketball reveal character?
Always. And what I did something this year to do. I wanted to do something different. What I did this year was I got away from my initial black socks, for away games and white socks for home games.
Okay.
A lot of children, they can't get tattoos, even though some of them do get it at this moment. But they can't get tattoos, So what I do is I did something different. I allowed them to really. I just want them to wear crazy socks.
Okay.
Every player they might like certain. It's a lot of people say your socks say a lot about you, just like your shoes do. So I let them do crazy socks, and they enjoyed that, because they didn't have to wear the same old different. They wore different socks like every game. They had crazy. If you watch any video from my boys, they don't have on like no Nike socks or they got real goofy socks on. It's just showing their character.
Right. Put you on the spot a little bit now.
Alright. I've been on the spot.
Top 5 Memphis players of all time. You can't name Penny though. Can't name Penny Hardaway.
Top
5 Memphis players of all time.
Whether they went to the league or not, right?
It don't matter.
Alright. Top 5 Memphis players. See, the crazy part is I was in the 96 era.
Okay. So you were in the golden age.
Yeah.
96, 97, you were in the golden age.
So my top 5 might be a little different from everybody else because I'm just gonna stay in my era.
Okay.
It's just like people comparing Mike and Kobe or Mike and LeBron. You can never compare I can speak on the era though, but top 5 in Memphis in my era, Marcus Moody, Jamie Rawson, Robert O'Kelly, Will over there at Hamilton,
Will Smith,
Harris London. I can name a lot of them. Top 10, Tony Harris. I can keep going. Those are the guys that I actually saw.
Okay.
And they was ones that literally went to big time Division I schools from programs. And people say a lot about, it's the school you go to. I think it's the predicament you put yourself into. And Marcus Moody went to Overton.
Right.
Jamie Rawson went to Overton. White Station, of course, they played on that scale. Robert O'Kelly, but a lot of teams didn't go out of town back then like they're doing now. I don't remember Hamilton going out of town to play
a lot of different tournaments.
A lot of big time tournaments. So they had to get it and get the exposure the best way they could because we didn't have YouTube and all that stuff now to do what we're doing now. So that's why I named those players in that era.
What would you say was a successful first year for you this year? 2021 I'm sorry, 2020, 2021 basketball season. What would you say? You be like, man, I had a good first year.
Say that again.
Like, this your first year coming up, 2020, 2021 season, right?
Got you.
What would you say where, okay, you could say, man, I had a good year this first year?
Just
what
really,
would have to happen?
Just laying the foundation.
Okay.
Laying the foundation, changing the mindset, getting in a lot of, I done had so many people in my inbox, you know, congratulating me, you know, they are very exciting. These are adults though, like parents from Germantown, you know, that went there. They're excited, you know. So with that, you got to bring the excitement with them, you know. So I want to change all of that, and they'll know, you know, that they, you know, Germantown, we back now, you know, and that's the main thing I want to
create that foundation.
Yeah, you got it. The foundation is the biggest thing, because I had to do the same thing at Ridgeway Middle, and to do the same thing at Hamilton Middle. Give them something to look forward to. You know, that you didn't have to drive, even though you got your team right here in Germantown. You don't have to drive to a Arlington and whatever game to see them play. You can go and watch Germantown play. You know, you're gonna get some exciting basketball.
What's an average day like for you right now?
You talking about now?
Yeah, just an average day.
Man,
with everything that's going on, you know, what's the average day for you?
Riding a bicycle, taking my son and my daughter to the track. They working out, riding a bicycle. Cause I spent a little good penny on that bike, so I'm gonna ride all the rub off those tires. But that's pretty much it. And really now, it just, you know, speaking with people about Germantown. You know, everybody calling, and you know, people want to talk with you and sit down with you, and just trying to, you know, figure out what's going on or what happened at Germantown, what was coming back. But rather than, I'm trying to build to bring in as well.
He got game of Hoosiers.
Now I like Hoosiers.
I like Hoosiers.
Because they played basketball.
That was real basketball.
That was real basketball.
He Got Game was good because he showed your representation what goes on still.
But we was young.
But we was right. We didn't know that.
We want to see some action.
Yeah, right. But Hoosiers to me was good. I think Hoosiers still good.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of, you know, showing kids, man, it doesn't necessarily take, you know,
Big
what you think it does, big time names to win.
Yeah.
To win. And it's a true story.
Yeah.
It's a true story. If you weren't coaching basketball and you weren't involved in the school system, what would you be doing? What would be your dream career? If you weren't coaching. If you weren't coaching. It's coaching.
It's coaching.
Coaching.
It wasn't. I didn't have one. You know what I'm saying? My passion is to coach. You know, they say when you have a plan B, then your plan A always fall off.
True.
So you always just have an A. I got an A. My A is to coach high school basketball. Now my next A is to coach college basketball. Those are my A's. That's my next step.
Coaching college basketball. Making that leap.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
Sooner or later, you know.
Last one for you, man.
Cool.
3 words you live by.
3 words I live by. And discipline, hard working character.
Discipline, hard working character.
Yep.
My guy, J-Rock,
Yes, sir.
Jarvis Stephen, head coach of Germantown High School.
Yes, sir.